So, good morning, everyone. Myself, Pruthviraj, and I'm studying in Sanjay Gaudat University. So, this is an application for AWS Cloud Captain, and I'm going to explain AWS Lambda. So, here we go. Before getting started, I will give a brief overview of this video. Like we are going to cover the headache or the management of the servers, and also we'll see the solution. Like what is the solution for it? We'll also see the workflow of AWS Lambda, and we'll also see why the companies are choosing AWS Lambda. And I have also added a part which is important for those who are willing to make career in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. So here we start. So before serverless, like before getting completely serverless, running code was huge mess. There were some huge problems such as provisioning, like thinking or making a guess, like how much capacity you really need. Next is maintenance. So you have developers have to make patching of operating systems and also think of the security updates. And the third is idle cost. You have to pay for servers which you are not using. You have to you have to maintain the server 24 into 7 and also have invest some cash in it for maintaining them. Scaling pains. So if there is a sudden spike in the demand of the servers, adding manual servers will a huge mess. So so now what do you think, what will be the solution? So the solution is AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda is a serverless event driven computing server or computing services, which lets us to run a code manually, virtually in any type of applications or a backend services without provisioning or managing the services. So in single line, we can say that running code without thinking about the servers. So we will see the workflow and we will see how does AWS Lambda works. AWS Lambda follows a simple action and trigger model. What is an trigger module? Trigger module means imagine a event occurs. You are sending a data or some files to S3 or an API gate or even to a database. So this is event. Next, function. Function in the sense AWS Lambda works on it and it automatically adjusts its computing power and to computing power to run your code. Next is the action. Action is the last part of the process, means it is a destination which helps you to process your data and send the results to the database or a user or even to a particular page which you desire. So this is the simple workflow. Now next, why the companies are choosing AWS Lambda? So the simple answer is AWS Lambda provides us zero infrastructure management. AWS Lambda handles everything like patching provisions, and even maintenance of the services. So this is the first thing, and the second thing is auto scaling, seamless scaling from few requests per day, and to the thousand requests per second. So this is the second point, and the third point is cost effective. You must have to pay only for the computing time which is consumed by the developers, and rest all will be handled by the AWS authorities. These are the three major points why we should choose AWS Lambda. Now we will see some common uses of AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda help us to build some secure and scalable applications which can be run through webs and mobile applications. So this is all about mobile backends. Now we'll come to data processing. Data processing in the sense you can process the file in the real life, and you can also stream the analytics. So we can get the overview of data pipeline. And the next is IoT backends. IoT in the sense, first we'll see what is IoT. IoT means Internet of Things. So AWS Lambda helps us to handle the device logic, validation, and filter the millions of connected IoT devices. So these are some common uses of AWS Lambda. Now we will compare like what was the situation before AWS Lambda and what is the situation after AWS Lambda. Before AWS Lambda, we can see that the developers were mostly focused on the operating systems rather than code. Rather than bringing more features, they were wasting their time maintaining the devices. So after AWS Lambda, we can purely see, as mentioned in the PPT, that um, after the AWS Lambda, um, developers mostly focused on um, code rather than wasting their time on operating systems. We can say that developers spend significantly more time building features and less time in managing infrastructures. So next, we will see the cost system of AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda provide a free plan which is 1 million free requests per month, and thereafter it gives a paid mode such as it charges only $0.2 per 1 million requests thereafter. So pricing may vary from location to location, but the free plan is provided for everyone. Next, we will see the best practice of AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda provides some huge number of features. So here are some features such as stateless code, and the next is minimize the package size. Such as we can say like you have to reduce the package size so that you can reduce the cold starts, observability, and the next and last part is security. So these are some best practices of AWS Lambda. Now, this is the interesting segment of this video. So, this is the part where the students who are willing to make the career in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and even in data science. So, this part helps them to gain some roadmap to their career. So, first, serverless interference. Serverless interference states that don't just build module, deploy them. Use AWS Lambda to serve predictions from TensorFlow, PyTorch, Model Y API gateways. And second, data pipelines. Automate ETL. ETL in the sense extract, transform, and load. When data hits S3, Lambda triggers processing to clean it for your ML models. Third is intelligent automations. It helps us to create the brains of chatbots such as Amazon Lex and the wise apps such as Alexa using Lambda for the logic layers. And the last part is the full stack developments. So, uh, as the present situation, employers value data scientists who can develop their own model without needing to separate the developing team. So these are the some basic information which I have provided for those who have or want or willing to make the path in AIML and data science. So I hope this video is clear to you guys. And if there is any queries or any questions, you can ask me in the questions. So thank you for your time.